What is a flaw when a god has touched it? On Elephantine Island, where the Nile entered Egypt like a breath, Iset shaped clay before dawn. She was the finest potter in the southern town. Her hands were steady, her eye was sharp, and her jars rang clear when tapped. Each year, the priest needed a vessel for the first sacred water of the flood. This year, they came to Iset and bowed before her wheel. She accepted with pride, though she hid her smile. For if Khnum shaped life from clay, surely Iset could shape one perfect jar. But the first vessel leaned slightly to one side. Iset frowned, crushed it flat, and threw the clay back onto the wheel. The second had a small scar near the rim. She cut it away before the kiln could harden its shame. The third was strong, but its shoulder curved unevenly. "Again," she whispered, though her apprentice dared not answer. Outside, Elephantine waited for the Nile to rise. Inside, Iset's floor filled with broken clay. She washed her hands in river water and began again. This time, she measured each curve with a reed and marked each line with string. The jar rose smooth beneath her fingers. Its belly widened like the moon, and its neck stood straight as a temple column. When it dried, no scar crossed it. When it fired, no crack appeared. Iset lifted it into the morning light. At last, she thought, even Khnum might approve. Yet the Nile remained low. The riverbanks showed dry mud where fish should have flashed in the reeds. Farmers came to the quay with worried faces. Children counted the Nilometer steps and found too many still bare. The priests inspected Iset's vessel and praised its beauty. Still, one old priest touched the smooth rim and said nothing. That silence troubled her more than criticism. A perfect jar should not feel so empty. Near the kiln, beneath torn cloth, lay one vessel she had not destroyed. It was thick at the base, uneven at the shoulder, and marked by a thumbprint. Her apprentice liked it best. "It looks alive," the girl said, which Iset considered a very poor compliment. Iset almost broke it with the others. But something in the clay resisted her, as if it remembered being riverbed. So she pushed it into the shadows. No priest would see it, and no god would be offended. On the day of the rite, the town gathered at the shrine of Khnum. The perfect jar stood on a painted table, shining with oil and fresh linen. But when the first sacred water touched it, the vessel split from rim to foot. The crowd gasped, the priests froze, and Iset felt her pride break louder than clay. That night, Iset returned alone to her workshop. The failed jar lay in pieces beside her wheel. She knelt among them and wept without dignity. Then the wheel began to turn by itself. Wet clay rose from its center, dark with Nile silt. A warm breath filled the room, smelling of river water and kiln smoke. Khnum stood before her, ram-headed and vast, his horns curved like time. His hands rested on the spinning clay. Under his fingers, a human heart took shape, then a child, then a jar. "Little potter," said the god, "you broke what was imperfect before you learned what it was for. A vessel is not made worthy by smoothness. It is made worthy by what it can carry." Iset rose before sunrise and pulled the discarded vessel from the shadows. Its thumbprint caught the light like a small seal. She brought it to the shrine without ornament or excuse. The old priest saw it, smiled, and placed it where the perfect jar had failed. When the sacred water was poured, the flawed vessel did not crack. Its thick base held firm, and its uneven shoulder steadied the weight. At that moment, a shout rose from the Nilometer. The Nile had begun to climb. After that day, Iset still made beautiful jars. But she no longer broke every crooked line or hidden scar, for she had learned that Khnum's hands did not shape life into perfection, but into purpose. And the broken vessel spoke, a tale of ancient Egypt.